Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the Superman Collector's Vlog. Today, we are going to be talking about all sorts of Superman lunchboxes. So I'm super excited. You'd be shocked at how many Superman lunchboxes were made throughout the years. So make sure you watch until the end of this video. At the end, we are going to go through the most valuable Superman lunchbox in existence, which is actually, coincidentally, the most valuable lunchbox in existence. And along the way, I'm going to show you some awesome Superman lunchboxes made through the years. If you aren't yet, remember to subscribe to this channel to check out all my other awesome Superman videos, and thanks for being a part of this channel. Now, I'm not going to get it out of the case, but this 1980s Superpowers lunchbox featuring Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman is certainly a classic. Now, Hallmark actually reproduced some of these classic lunchboxes in miniature form. So the Hallmark School Days series, as you can see, did this excellent Super Friends lunchbox and many others in a smaller version and much more portable version as well. So one of my favorite lunchboxes made for Superman is actually based off my favorite TV show, which is Smallville. So this awesome collectible lunchbox was created with two sides, one with Clark Kent in the meteor shower, and on the other side here, Clark, Lana, and Lex. Now it's important to note that this lunchbox did not come with a thermos, so if you have one without the thermos, it's not missing, it was just never made. Now when most people think of classic Superman lunchboxes, this is what first comes to mind, the 1978 Superman the Movie lunchbox featuring Christopher Reeve. But they also made lunchboxes for Superman 2 and Superman 3. So as you can see here, the Superman 2 lunchbox made in plastic, but features some great facial shots of some of the supporting cast of the movie. Now the Superman 3 lunchbox, and I'll try to get in a better image of it here, but the Superman 3 lunchbox is actually quite rare. This lunchbox, along with its thermos, is the hardest to find of the three lunchboxes. It was made in a much lower quantity, and it's just really hard to find with a nice decal and a nice shape. Now, you may have pictured this in the corner of your eye here. This Superman 4 lunchbox was never actually produced, and it's not a prototype. It's a custom made by a good friend of mine to kind of complete the 4-movie set of the Christopher Reeve Superman lunchboxes. Now this 1967 lunchbox made by King Seeley is the second oldest of the Superman lunchboxes produced. So this lunchbox, as you can see, has quite a bit of wear and tear on it, the one in my collection. But I'll try to show you the opposite side. Superman getting some bullets bounced off of him there. It does have the original thermos. Now, it's important to note that my thermos does not have the original red cap, but there's a reason for that. So, this thermos originally would have come with a red cap to match the lunchbox, but many people replaced that cap over time with a different one from the series. If you lost the cap, it fits, it's just the wrong color. But this particular thermos with my lunchbox actually belonged to legendary actor Kirk Alyn, who was the first man to play Superman. Because it came from his collection, I felt it natural to keep that one and display that one with my lunchbox. So that's why I keep this lunchbox with the wrong thermos in my collection. Taking the crown for the most valuable, rarest, most classic, and perhaps the best vintage lunchbox ever made is this 1954 Superman lunchbox. This beautiful blue lunchbox featuring Superman fighting the robot there. My example is actually in pretty good condition, but mint condition examples of this with the original thermos have fetched as high as $13,000. That's right, $13,000 for a lunchbox. Isn't that crazy? So I'll show you the reverse here. And I almost like the reverse better because it's got some really cool images of Superman carrying the plane, breaking the chain, and then breaking through the wall to save Lois Lane. Also, along the red trim here, you have the yellow text images of Superman, the Superman logo, and the Superman and friend, or Superman's friend is, and then the owner of the lunchbox could put their name in that slot. Now, the hardest part by far to find with this lunchbox is the original thermos. So this universal thermos is plain red and yellow. Now, it's important to know because most sellers on eBay will try to pass a maroon and gray thermos in this exact style off as a version of the original. That thermos never came with this lunchbox. Don't be fooled if you're looking to add one of these to your collection. Another variation of this thermos here that often gets incorrectly passed off with the original is where the line between the yellow and the red falls right in between the universal text. That is not the original thermos either. This is the original thermos. The universal vacuum bottle text should be fully within the red section of the thermos with the yellow section fully above that. Now, I have a really cool story about how I came to acquire this. So, my parents bought me the Superman lunchbox on its own without the thermos for, it was either Christmas or I think it was a birthday present on my 18th birthday, if I'm remembering correctly now. But as you can imagine, I was elated. This was a holy grail for me, something I always wanted, but it didn't have the thermos. And now the thermos can very easily fetch double the cost of the lunchbox itself, especially to find one in nice condition like this. Well, my mother, who's always been a bargain hunter or an antique connoisseur, had been on the hunt for this particular thermos for years after that to try to find it to give it to me as a gift. Now, as you can see, because this thermos has no trace of Superman on it, you wouldn't know what this thermos was unless you knew exactly what you were looking for. Well, she knew exactly what she was looking for, and she walked in to an antique mall in Indiana years after buying me the original lunchbox and found this price tag, which I still keep on it as a memory on this thermos. As you can see, that says red thermos, $5. So she walked in that antique store and found a thermos which can sometimes fetch upwards of $2,000 for just $5. She was so excited to buy that thermos, bring it home, and gave it to me for Christmas the following year. And that's what completes my beautiful 1954 Superman lunchbox. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, please subscribe to this channel if you aren't already. It means the world to me. Hey, it's going to be a couple weeks before the next Superman Collectors vlog, but we have some awesome things in store. Hey, if there's an aspect of Superman collecting or maybe a particular collectible you want to learn more about, please leave that information in the comments so I can make sure to include it in a future video. Hopefully you learned something or two about lunchboxes today. And in the meantime, stay super.